Hello to all my divine souls, and welcome to Spiritual Healing International, the podcast. I am Monica Vasquez Gomez, and I'm here to welcome back all my divine souls who listened to my first episode. Thank you so much for all the love and support, and thank you for tuning in again. And I want to welcome back all my divine souls who are new here today. And if all of you are tuning in, it's because your soul has a message. So we're going to dive right in to the first pillar of life, the soul. And I'm going to tell you exactly how I found that pillar in my life. And it all started because if you listen to my first episode, you know that I have Colombian roots and that I grew up in the States and that I have a passion for Europe. And as I was leaving the US to pursue my dream, I was saying goodbye to everyone. And one specific person told me, "God bless your soul." And it kind of left me in shock because as Colombians, we say God bless you to everyone. Literally, not just our families and friends, but we say it to our neighbors, we say it to strangers, we say it to even people at the supermarket, the cashiers before we leave, because we want to provide positive vibes for everyone. And who doesn't need blessings? We all need blessings, right? But this particular person in the US, it kind of left me in shock because I asked, "What do you mean by God bless your soul?" And so that person told me, when you bless someone's soul, you're blessing them infinitely, forever. And I thought that was so beautiful. And I asked the person, why? And so the person told me, because the soul transcends space, time, dimension. And when we leave this earth, when we die, because we all die, the only thing that we carry is our soul. And so that got me thinking. And I want to ask you this question to all of you. What is the one thing or some of the things that all humans have in common? So the first one is that we're all humans, right? We all have a human body. We all have physiological needs, right? But also we have our soul. And so have you also heard of people who say, "Oh, I went on a spiritual journey. Oh, I went to find myself. Oh, I found myself." So when I used to hear these people say this, I was like, what are they talking about, right? Because at that time, I wasn't like spiritual or anything. Even though when I left the US, I had already started, things about spirituality and stuff, but I hadn't found my soul yet. And it wasn't until I reached Europe and I started walking the streets of Barcelona, Spain, Paris, in France, Rome, in Italy, that I started feeling like my body had finally caught up to my soul and they merged together. It was such an incredible feeling because all my life, I felt like I was searching for something, trying to find it in all the wrong places. I was never going to find my soul in all the places that I used to frequent. But something inside of me always told me, go to Europe, since I was a child. And I had the opportunity to move to Spain to do my clinical master's degree there in psychology. And beautiful experience because I was also into art therapy. And so I learned that there are tools out there that allow us to connect with our soul so we can find all the answers that we're looking for. And so once I found my soul, I really started to find the answers that I've been looking and searching my whole life. And today, this very second episode, for the very first time, I'm going to do a meditation for all of you. I've done it for my clients, but I want to share one of those tools that you can use to speak to your soul. And so here it goes. I'm going to do this very special meditation from your soul that is going to channel it through my soul and my soul to your soul. And so we always want to do this in a state of peace, harmony, bliss. We want to channel ourselves. What is it? In this case, I'm doing it for you. So what are the messages from my divine souls that are listening? What do their souls want to tell them through me? What are the messages that my divine souls have? How can I help my divine souls? What are the messages from them? So think about the messages that you feel. If you feel lost, if you feel like you need answers, think about what answers you want. Let's channel all that energy in. So we got our cards. So let's take a look at what what we're channeling for my divine souls listening to me. Okay, so the first card I love is Soul Essence, Authentic Self, Connection to the Divine, Pure Expression. I love it. The second card that we got is the Reincarnation, Integrating Spirit, Living Life Fully, Creating Heaven on Earth. Love it. And then the third card is Soul Star, Being Your Higher Self, Messages from Home, Authentic Presence. I love it. So we're going to start with the Soul Essence. And the Soul Essence talks about your authentic self. And I'm going to tell you a little story. So for those of you who tuned in to the first episode, you know that I was very close to my grandfather, but he's not in this physical plane anymore. But he sure left me a lot of wisdom. And one of that wisdom is to always be my authentic self. And he told me this when I was like in high school. And you know, children want to fit in, right? Especially teenagers, they want to fit in. And so he always told me, no matter what the situation you're in, I want you to be able to always be your authentic self. Because society forces us into a mold. And that mold is not necessarily for your highest good. And you're at an age where you want to fit in because you want people to like you, you want people to love you, you want to have friends, right? But I always want you to be your authentic self. And what that means is be who you are. Don't hide yourself. Be exactly who you are, because the people who are meant to be in your life, they're going to want to meet the real you. And guess what? They're going to love you and care for you. And they're going to respect you and support you for just being who you are. And I thought that was like the most beautiful message he could ever give me. And that's exactly what your soul wants to hear. Always be your authentic self. Don't try to fit in. Be who you are. Because the people, when you are yourself, the people who are meant to be in your life will find you. And they're going to love you and support you and respect you and care for you exactly for who you are. Staying true to yourself is so important. The second one is connection to the divine. And guess what? We are connecting to the divine. And the divine, what does that mean? It's whatever faith we have in, whether it's in the angels, the archangels, the sacred family, Jesus, God, the universe, Buddha, whoever you believe in. That's your connection to the divine source. But also the people, our loved ones who have passed away, they're your spirit guides. And when we are authentic to ourselves, we can start tuning into those divine messages. We can truly connect with them. And the other one's pure expression. And it all ties together. So when you are your authentic self, you put yourself in a position to express yourself freely, right? To express to the divine really what's going on inside. And as you do this, your soul starts to express more openly. And that's the first message that your soul has for you. And as well as your soul essence. If you're authentic to your own self, that means that your human self is going to stay authentic, but also it will merge with your soul. Your soul will start being more authentic as well. The second one is reincarnation, integrating spirits, living life fully, and creating heaven on earth. I absolutely love this card. So independently, if we believe in reincarnation or not, it doesn't matter. I'm not here to talk about that. But what I am going to talk about is how it integrates with your soul essence, with your authentic self. When you integrate, right, your spirit, your soul with your body, you start becoming one. You start becoming whole, finally. And when you start living your authentic life, you start living life fully. And for example, for me, I was taught this at a very young age by my grandfather. My grandfather was a bigger than life person, and that's how I've always lived life. I have always lived life like if today is my last day on earth, because you never know. We don't know, right? It could be our last days on earth. And when you live fully, when you live a full life, that means that if you die any minute, you can look back on life and be like, wow, I really lived it. I really enjoyed it. I really did what I wanted to do. And this is how you create heaven on earth. So there's a song by Kanye West. I can't remember the name of it. I don't even know if I should say Kanye West. Anyways, but he says something along the lines that he is sitting in the VIP section of heaven, or he's sitting in heaven. And I absolutely love that song. And I always thought to myself, where's the VIP section of heaven? And I was like, of course, if we create heaven on earth, what would be paradise for us? And it wasn't until I reached Europe that I realized that paradise is where your soul feels at home. It's wherever your soul, it doesn't matter where you are on the planet, but if your soul feels at home, that is your soul's home. That's where you can start creating your heaven on earth. What is creating heaven on earth? Is living authentically, going after your dreams, knowing that prosperity, abundance, love, money, health is all for you. It's out there for you. You all deserve it. All of us, all souls are divine, and we all deserve happiness and harmony. We deserve to live our best life, and we deserve to be our best selves. And the third card is the soul star, right? Being your higher self, messages from home, authentic presence. So this one is very interesting because what does being your higher self mean? So when you really find your soul, you really start listening to your higher self, and your higher self is your intuition. That little voice inside of you that's kind of like your voice or whatever, that tells you, yes, do something, no, do not do that. And when we don't listen to our intuition, things sometimes don't go the way we want. But the more we are authentic to ourselves, the more we listen to our higher self, our intuition. And so they also start merging. So think about it as your higher self, as your soul who has lived through space, dimension, and time, right? That's where the intuition comes from. And then messages from home. It's like I was just talking about it with the first card, right? It's really tuning in to what I call the collective source. For me, the collective source is, I believe in the archangels, I believe in the angels, I believe in the sacred family. By definition, I believe in Jesus and the universe. But for many of you, it could be different. It's whatever you believe in. It's your faith. It's what we put faith to, right? And of course, listening to your spirit guides. Just because they have passed away doesn't mean that they don't talk to you. They're always with us. They're with us in our heart. They're with us in our mind. They're with us whenever we go to those special places we went to with them. There's always a little part of them inside of us. That's how we can channel those messages from them. And the authentic presence, how it ties all beautifully together. The authentic presence is, if we stay true to ourselves, then that frequency of our soul starts radiating outwards. We start living in the present. We stop living in the past. Heck, we even stop living in the future. We live now, today. As I was saying, for all our souls in our world, it could be the last day of our lives, right? And it's that feeling of looking back, what we have done with our lives, staying in that authentic presence. And that's how we find our soul star. And I also want to share with you something that connects with this whole story. So obviously, I have gone back home to visit my loved ones, and I got invited to my cutest baby cousin's baptism. And I just want to say, she has the best parent. They're hardworking. They have unconditional love for themselves, for them, for their baby. And I admire them so much. And as Catholics, my family's Catholic, they baptize their little girl. So when I went to the baptism, and I want to stress that I'm saying this so respectfully, and I want to mention that I was baptized, and when I have my children, I will baptize them as well. But for me, it's not going to come from a place of religion. And I'm going to explain to you why. It's going to come from a place of tradition, to honor. For example, to honor when I was baptized. And it's to honor who were there. My godparents. Godfather passed away a long time ago. My grandparents, who were also there, who have passed away a long time ago, right? Obviously, my biological parents, and then the rest of my family. And like my great aunties and great uncles, like, to honor them. That's why I would want to baptize my children. But not from the religion aspect of it. Because as I was sitting there quietly listening to the priest that was baptizing my baby cousin. He was talking about the original sin. And see, this is where my grandpa told me, be very careful into the society that we are in. Because think about it. When we come to this earth, we come as babies. Babies are pure in heart, in spirit. Even their little hearts are gold, right? They're pure. They're full of love and joy and play. And I just sat there and I was like, I haven't practiced Catholicism in a long time. So I'm like, how can a baby have an original sin? And again, I say this so respectfully to all my Catholic viewers. Trust me, my family's gonna see this. So I had already found my soul, right? And when I greeted my baby cousin, I told her, I was like, baby, you're a baby. Your soul is pure. There's no original sin inside of you. Your soul is a white canvas, and if you really listen, if you stay authentic to yourself, if you really listen to your intuition, you're going to have the most amazing life. You're going to accomplish all of your dreams, and that's what I ever wish for you. And I'm gonna explain what I mean by this, right? And this is one of the biggest messages that our divine souls who are listening are channeling in. We all come to this earth with a pure heart, with a heart of gold, with a white canvas of a soul. But we do have something called free will. That's what humans get. And it's the ability to make our choices. And as we make those choices, if we don't listen to our soul, if we don't listen to our intuition, we could make bad choices. And what that means is that as time goes, that white soul canvas that we have, it can either continuously stay pure and white, right? But it can also go the other way. It could also start getting tinted, start getting gray, start getting dark, black even. And what this means is there are ways to keep your soul pure. And of course, I'm not sitting here and saying that I've never hurt someone or I've never made bad decisions. I've made plenty of bad decisions and I have hurt a lot of people, and I'm sorry for that. And also, when I started finding my soul, in a way, I also, not only did I find myself or the answers that I was looking for, but I also started feeling forgiveness for myself and for others who have done me wrong. And that's when my soul started going back to being a white canvas. And there's, these tools are great because as they help find those answers that make my soul pure again. And I want that for all of us, for all our divine souls, not just the ones tuning in, but for everyone, for all our divine souls of the 8 billion people in the world. I want that for all of you. And I have found ways to do it, how you can strip away all that darkness. And when I say darkness, it's not just your free will, right? Like, you have the free will to do good, right? To be a good person, to follow your dreams. You also have free will to make bad choices, to harm other people, to not follow your dreams and stay stagnant. But the choice is always yours. It's just you, us divine souls, we need to listen because the answers that we have, they come from within us. It's not in our society, it's not in our religions, it's not in our political views. It's none of that. But society wants us to believe that, right? And that's a message that your soul has. So from my divine soul to your soul, since I have already found that first pillar of life, I also want you to find it. I also want you to find your soul like I have found myself. And so in my next podcast episode, I am going to gift one of my divine souls listening the first ever made pillar box, the soul, to you, which contains what I have used to start stripping away all the darkness, all the gray areas that I had, that I needed to improve in life, to have that white canvas, to continue to pursue my dreams. And I'm going to give it to you. And in that box, not just that is going to be included, a candle is going to be included, a little incense stick, and a crystal, and also a deck. So you can start finding the answers that you've been looking for that only your soul has within you. And you're probably wondering, how can you, divine soul, win the ever first made first pillar of life, the soul box. Subscribe, leave a comment, like, share me with all your contacts in your phone, and also share me on your social media platforms. Send me screenshots of it. And then on my next episode, I'm going to announce the lucky divine soul who's going to win that first pillar box. And just to give you a little sneak peek about what we're going to talk about in my third episode of Spiritual Healing International, the podcast, we're going to talk about the second pillar of life, energy. So to all my divine souls listening, if you're feeling lost, if you feel like you need answers, if you feel like you want to find yourself, these are the messages from your soul that my soul just helps them facilitate them to you. And I cannot wait for all the more messages that our souls have to create this beautiful podcast. And again, thank you so much for tuning in, everyone, whether you came back to tune in for a second time or for those new divine souls who are tuning in for the first time. It means so much to me, and I wish you so much happiness, abundance, prosperity, love, money, and health. Until the next one, with your favorite podcaster, Monica Vasquez Gomez, here at Spiritual Healing International, the podcast.